Good evening, everyone. Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is May 5th, 2017. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. Thanks for joining me. We have a full hour and I'm so glad you're with me. Grab a project and let's see what we can get done together in 60 minutes. So the things I want to do today, again, we have a full night. We're going to talk about the Wallace Nutting print or print of a print. We're going to talk about clue number 11, the 8 from our row by row mystery quilt that is just finishing up. We have this week and next week. We're going to talk about my quilting offer, so stay tuned for that. I'll get to that very shortly. I'm going to show you some examples. We're going to talk about next week. We're actually not going to be here in the studio. Surprise, surprise. And then we're going to talk about mail, taking your mail. So send mail. I have some from last week that we didn't even get to. Send it to lmarquidant@gmail.com. LMARQUEDANT. So let's look at this print. Remember last week I mentioned the Wallace Nutting print that my friend Kim had found? Well, it arrived in the mail in perfect condition. It was in a big box and well packed, and I love it. I absolutely love it. This is it in all its unfinished glory. And it is called The Quilting Party. And it was a picture that was taken by Wallace Nutting. And I did a little bit of research and Kim sent me a little bit about it. This one is The Quilting Party from 1916. And it's a tinted photograph. And it says it was photographed inside the Carter Butler House in Newburyport. And this was supposedly one of Wallace Nutting's 5 residences. He actually was born in Massachusetts, died in Massachusetts, spent time in Maine, had a house in New Hampshire reportedly, and he made furniture and he also depicted colonial life. So I love it. I love everything about it. The fact that there is a coverlet on the bed, that there are the rugs, that there are women that are working together. They're collaborating, they're sewing even in 1916. The fact that there's a heron stuffed, whether it's a taxidermy stuffed heron or, which I think it is, I don't suspect it's carved, but I love that up there and I just love all about it. So I went online and I was doing some reading and this might be a photograph of the original. The original might have been smaller. Don't know that yet. What I do know is Wallace Nutting, N-U-T, he was born in November of 1861 in a place called Rock Bottom, Massachusetts, and he died in Framingham, Massachusetts at age 79. This is again a colorized photograph. And he did New England landscapes, reproduction, and antique furniture. He said over his lifetime, this was interesting, he was a U.S. Army general. For the U.S. Army, I don't know if he was a general. He was a minister, a photographer, an artist, an antiquarian. And he lectured, he authored, he made antiques, and he collected. He went to Phillips Exeter and Harvard and the Hartford Theological Seminary and Union Theological Seminary. He also earned a Doctor of Divinity degree from Whitman College. And you can read more about him. Again, it's Wallace Nutting. And I just heard a ding. Let's check to see who's out there. I also looked for some pictures that are just great. Let's see, where are the pictures? Well, you know what? If you're out there and you have access to the internet, look up Wallace Nutting. There are some great pictures. So I wanted to share that with you. I love it. I'm going to put it here in the studio somewhere. I'm going to clean it up. And thank you, Kim. So it's just perfect. Now, let's jump into our clue and talk about, did I just see a text from Chris? Hi, Chris. She said, happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. Wow, is it Cinco de Mayo again? It seems like we just had it. Craziness. Congratulations to Abby. Abby is going to the, and I'm going to get this wrong, but it's a special program up at the University of New Hampshire for hospitality management. I think I have that right. This summer, and she was one of just 20 accepted. So that's always good when our next generation, our young people are out there striving. I love it. Okay. So let me put this away for a second. Oh, I love the dings. Dead on. Thank you, Chris. Okay. That we're going to talk about in a minute. 8-pointed star. That's over my left shoulder. You know, this is probably the last time for a while that we're going to have the split personality behind me. We have the 8-pointed star, which is this week's clue, which I actually love. The background really plays a starring role in this one. The one on the left are my 4 for my king size quilt. So I've already done that. I'm doing that in the off-whites and the cool blue colors, blue, purple, green. The orange and the orange over there on the other side is the first of 3 that I have to do. And so just like in past weeks, I'm going to sew the other 2 tonight. I'm using paper piecing again. Yes, I know I don't know about you, but after this mystery, I'm going to be interested in some rotary cutting and maybe some even scrappier stuff, or maybe my GoPro cutter, something. I've loved paper piecing, and who knows, I may gravitate back to it. So I've cut everything out, and again, I have 2 of these. For the full pattern, it's on patreon.com, Simply Colorful. I've also posted the paper piecing pattern on the Simply Colorful Mystery Quilting Along. So for those of you who don't have access to the full pattern, have no fear. The copy can be found. It's 2 pages for each pattern. And ultimately it will measure 9 inches. So it'll be 9.5 inches unfinished. I'm just going to I didn't separate these out. I've already cut them down. There. Let's use this really bright, pretty orangey red. Okay, there's that. Ooh. And then we've got that and that. And then our sashing. Okay, so we can put that aside for now. What a cool, great week I've had. You wouldn't believe this place looks like it's just being built again. We had the electrician here. So, the electrician was installing one of the ovens downstairs. I think that maybe I mentioned, or if I haven't mentioned, Bob is a great cook. My husband is a great cook, and he found some used fancy appliances on, I don't know, eBay, Craigslist. I don't know where he finds them, but he has a steam oven. I told you he loves all these things. He loves ovens and boilers, and so he had the electrician here. He's made a special cabinet with 2 of the stoves. One is a steam / convection / microwave oven, and the other one is a warming tray for 2 of us. So, but it'll come in very handy at Thanksgiving. So Mom, have no fear. We're going to have warm food for Thanksgiving. Anyway, the electrician was here today and put that in. The electrician also is putting in the sockets in the floor, finishing that up so that when we have sew-alongs here, we can plug right into the floor instead of running all the cords. And I'm getting a heavy-duty cord for my new quilting machine. And the flowers have started blooming, and it rained today. And I tell you, the greenery came out as I was watching outside. So this is just same old drill I think for anyone who's been watching this, you know how I do these for this mystery quilt. This is a row by row, which gets me to, and it's It's been, it was purposefully designed, this mystery, as one that we would have fun with, not have to think about too much, because the last mystery last fall was a doozy. And I don't know about you, but it's been really fun to do. Now, we all have, and so now we have all these quilt tops. Some of us further along than others, right? 12 weeks is a long time to stick with it. The good news is that the clues haven't been too big, and if you're making a crib quilt, you only have to make one of these. That's something I should mention. On the patterns, it'll tell you how many of these blocks you need to make for the row, depending on the size of your quilt. For king size quilts, you need 4, like that one behind me. For queen and double, you only need 3. For twin, you need 2, and for crib, you only need 1. So it's very doable, and I know several of you are doing the crib one for baby blankets or in the 1930s patterns, which I love seeing them, Deb and Karen. There are so many great combos that we're seeing. Sue out in Chicago, I love your red, black, and white. If anyone hasn't seen that, they should. And I was thinking of you, Sue, that I am remiss. You were all set to join us on one of these, and I'm remiss in inviting, and it's still on me. But anyway, let's not talk about that. We have something better to talk about, which is I need practice with my machine quilting. So here's my offer. For anyone who has made a Simply Colorful mystery quilt, finish that top, send it to me with your backing, and I will quilt it for you. All you have to pay for is the shipping. It's a win-win. I get to practice, and you get another finished quilt. I'm going to do it from now until June 31st. So if you have one in your closet, maybe the 2-color Delight, Norma, if you're out there, and you haven't quite gotten around to quilting it yet, pop it in the mail to me, and I would love to quilt it. Now, the question is, what kind of designs do you want? Right now, I'm practicing what they say is edge to edge. But certainly, if you have, and most of the Simply Colorful quilt designs, well, I guess you can do both. We're learning together. If you wanted me to try something different, say something different in each, something more free form, I'm open to that too. So again, that's the offer. Think about it. I'll give you my address. And we can go from there. So that's that. Let's see, what else? So I'm just going along here, using up a lot of fabric, extra fabric. See how I sort of cut the fabric in the shape of my pieces. Helps a little bit. Oh, and you'll notice I pulled out my Bernina. I cannot get the feed dogs up on my olive oil again. So she may be. In fact, I think I heard from the program team on our quilting group that Kathy Rossini, who can fix any machine, and she runs the Charlton fabric store out in Charlton, Mass. I think I heard she's coming to one of our Quilt Guild meetings, and we've done that before, and it's been great. If anyone out there, if you have a guild and you have a lot of women or people who have machines and they use a lot, invite a machine cleaner to one of your Saturday sew-ins. They love it. The machine cleaners love it. The ones who are hungry and want to work love it because they get many machines in one spot. And I have to tell you, I wish I had that skill. I really do. I just don't. Although, you know, that I thought long and hard about that part of the machine quilting business. And I guess ultimately, ultimately, I decided that I had mechanical people around me in my life. And so if I really needed help, which I may very well, that I could lean on them. But I talked myself that I did because I thought, how long have we been using sewing machines? Jean said to me just this week, I've been sewing for more than 30 years, and that is the truth, right? So if I can't figure out the mechanism of a sewing machine after 30 years of using it and jamming thread and unjamming thread and breaking needles, then I really, so I'm going for it. But then again, my olive oil, which is my 1950s Japanese, my machine made in Japan, I cannot get enough traction. The presser foot won't go down far enough. It's all the way down. It's down as far as it can go. I think there's something in the mechanism when I'm turning the feed dogs up and down. I know when I did it. I played with I fiddled with it. I never should have touched it, you know, a couple of months after I got it. And I think underneath when I lift the feed dog, somehow it's not lifting enough. So anyway, that's why we have more than one machine. Once I finish this, I'll check the mail. I want to see what you're working on. Several of you got caught up, I saw, which was great. We're getting caught up, which I just enjoy seeing. Still loving my little iron. I don't know if you can see it over there. Okay. So let me do one more seam. You guys have seen me paper piece before. I want to see what you're working on. Okay. Have my handy dandy little phone holder. Thank you, Diane. Okay. So who's out there? Again, it is lmarquidant@gmail.com. Ho-ho. And I'm going to start at the top and go down. Oh, Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl. Bronzy girl. I like that. She says, Happy Cinco de Mayo. She says, I finished a t-shirt quilt in a week for a surprise party for my husband 2 weeks ago. Whoa, he was so surprised. She says, I can't believe you're on clue 11 already. Say hello to all the FiberCasters and happy Quilty Friday, Cheryl. Oh, to you too. And I'm glad you've been, oh my goodness. You have, back to mail. Oh my goodness. Look at that. You have been busy, Cheryl. And look at, oh, that one behind you is great. Union, Peyton, New York, Fenway Park. Oh, that's great. Excellent. Kathy, sewing Kathy, she says, Dear Lynn, well, I have become Dear Jane addicted. Woohoo! Oh, I'm going to do a few of those. In a few weeks, I'll be right there with you. Do tell more. She says, I purchased my first software and I started my first block using paper piecing. I never heard of Dear Jane until I started watching you. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. That's great news. She says, you're so sweet to offer to quilt for us. Please take me up on it. I love watching and joining on Friday night as often as possible. Have a nice weekend. You too, Kathy. Carol, hi Carol, how are you feeling? Carol says, wow, great offer you are making to finish a mystery quilt with your new gammal. Now I wish I was further along in my quilting to take advantage of your offer. You are far enough along. Just watching tonight, she says, I spent the better part of today working on my red and white pinwheels. Happy sewing, Carol. Oh, well, thank you. I can't wait to see your red and white pinwheels. Sounds like they might be done in time for the 4th of July, maybe. Okay. Oh, isn't that beautiful, KB? Look at this. KB in Pennsylvania. There's her 8-pointed star. I love it. Ooh, and you made it with your 50s fabric. Do you believe you have one more to do, KB, and you're done? Okay. Oh, Allison in Pennsylvania. She says, good morning, Lynn. A lovely sunny day here, although a little cool. Oh, because you're heading into fall, you lucky dog. She says, I love your new quilting machine. I still use my Husqvarna Rose quilting machine to machine quilt. You were talking about your sewing machines. I have 5, she says. The oldest being an 1890 Singer treadle that I have yet to get in working order, but I will. She says, have a great weekend to the FiberCasters. Love, Allison. Oh, thank you. And so your treadle, I bet you need a new, well, I don't know what you need, but I know my treadle still needs my belt. Ah, so glad you're out there. Oh, Sandra. Hi, Sandra in Mississippi. She says, I have to type fast, phone going dead. I've been crocheting today. Now sewing clue 11 with you. Happy weekend, Sandra in cool and wet Mississippi. Sandra, you have to send me a quilt to quilt. Please. I know you've been making Simply Colorful mystery quilts. Okay. Let's see. How did this work? I have a lot of different mail from Twitter. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Leah. Leah, I wanted to say hi to you. Last week, she said, she sent a picture. Oh, that's great. This was last week's Stelly. No, it's hard to see. Oh, I love that. You make it, it looks really nice. It looks like the more of the X or the cross. And here's Diane from last week. So hopefully, Diane, you're on again, or hopefully things are well. Diane, as a reminder, her grandson has been having some heart surgery right after being born. His name is Dash. Some of us have been following it. She says, hello, FiberCasters. I want to thank you all for your lovely well wishes for my beautiful grandson, Dash. Though he is still in the NIC unit, neonatal intensive care, he has shown improvement, had his breathing tube taken out and breathing on his own with some assistance from a nose cannula. And I was able to hear his little voice last night for the first time. He has had such a difficult time after his open heart surgery. Continued prayers and have faith that he'll be into everything at this time next year. I believe it. And she says, happy quilting, you all. I do plan to sit in front of my machine later this evening, maybe, says Diane. Out in California. Excellent. Sorry I didn't get to that last week. Okay. Wendy, also down under. It's probably, I bet it's a little cool there. She says, hello, Lynn and everyone. I just sat down, so I missed the first bit. So again, this was a week ago, but I did want to say hi, Wendy, and I did get your email. Oh my goodness, this is fun. She says, I've had another busy week, but I actually do some sewing related stuff. Wendy is one of our very active members, I must say. I am in awe of all you get done with and through your family around the country of Australia. She says, I picked up my old dusty pink Singer machine from the service and repairman and can't wait to play with it. I will send photos when I have it running. A pink singer. She says, I'm spending the weekend completing Adam's blue strippy scrappy quilt to take to work camp. He works at a coal mine. Wow. And I bet he gets cold. Wow. So after that, she says, I'm completing Charlotte's I Spy pinwheel quilt for her 5th birthday next week. Wow. And so she says, I'll have photos by next FiberCast. Oh, don't you? Oh, if you're out there, send photos next week. She says, I've also started a part-time job in a fashion store. So with everything else going on, sitting at the machine this weekend is very exciting for me. Oh, I bet it is. She says, we have a long weekend, so I have one off playing golf and hubby going gold detecting. So I have free reign, so yay for me. Then I will start the double wedding ring. Phew. Okay, so now I'm focusing on what you are doing, and I love that block and the colors too. Have a great weekend, Lynn, and all the FiberCasters. I'm crocheting now too with a coffee. What are you doing with your toes, Wendy? I love it. Thanks for writing in, everyone. Beautiful. Okay, let's just keep going here. This block is really fun if you use a really dark contrasting fabric, I find. The points, they're long and narrow for an 8-pointed star, and I like that. Okay. Another thing I wanted to let everyone know is, at the risk of, it can't snow next week, can it? Can't possibly snow. We can't possibly have another delay. Without further ado, I am going to be up at the Newburyport Museum next Friday night, starting at 7. So if you don't catch me live, when you click on at 8 o'clock, you will see a recording of us up there looking at the Alice Brown quilt. And I'm thrilled. The curator up there, he's going to tell us all sorts of stories that we missed about a month ago because we had a snowstorm. So we're looking forward to that. Bob's coming up too. We're going to leave in the afternoon. Okay. So I'm just setting these up. Okay. I have to tell you, I do love being in front of the Bernina again, too. How lucky are we that we have multiple machines? And they're all different, right? Okay. All right. Okay, is that it? Might be. Okay. Okay, so here are our rough pieces. There's 1, there's 2, aha. There's 3. I do have to do 1 more on this, and then we'll trim them. So since I saw you last Saturday, on this end, we had a surprise invitation to go see our Boston Red Sox baseball game on Saturday. And we sat in the best seats I've ever sat in, I must say. They were at the first base line. They were in the box seats. And so just, up like, maybe 20 seats up. It was a ways up, but it was perfect because you didn't have any obstruction and you could see the pitcher and throwing. I liked that spot. So that was a lovely day in Boston. It was very special. And then, so that was the fun part. Then in the last week, I have had to schedule 3 work trips. So for the next 3 weeks, I knew this was too good to be true. I am going to DC, to LA, to, where's my other one? Oh, Chandler, Arizona. So, but I'll be home in time for FiberCast every Friday night. So you can only imagine what little I will get done. Okay, so there's the first one. But actually, that's not true. You know what I might do? I might bring my hexies with me. I'm making grandmother's garden, and I have enough for I think a crib size quilt, baby quilt. I also sent one quilt down for the Cape fundraiser for Cape and Island kids who go to UMass. So Cheryl has that. I think I saw Carol and Deb are donating. Bob went and delivered it to Cheryl, and Cheryl was so happy that everyone was pitching in. So that was good. Speaking of UMass, is Cam home, I wonder? Carol's son started up there. Okay. There's another one. And this one. Go. One more. Okay. So this is the fun part now when you get to lay them out. Isn't that bright? It's so easy to put together now. I just do the middle one. This. Go. There. Oh, it's big prom doings around here next week. I wonder if you're seeing a lot of prom activity where you are. They do a promenade here in our town. Have I talked about this before? See, this is really bad when I start telling you the same stories. We never used to do promenade. Thank goodness, I think I would have been mortified at that age. Heck, I didn't get married until mortified then to walk down the aisle. Not because I didn't want to do it, it was just the thought of people watching me walk in a dress. Ooh. Isn't that funny? And yet, ironically, I make dolls and I make beautiful dresses for them, and I love nothing more than looking at fashion dresses. I just don't like to wear them. Okay. That. Now we'll put the other one on. I think we might get 2 of these done tonight. This will be good. Oh, here's a question for everyone that my friend Jean, our friend Jean, asked me. Is there such a thing as a bush magnolia? Let me know. Let us know. Oh, and speaking of prom, my niece Callie's coming over with her sister Michaela tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to fix her dress. I think we're just going to shorten it. And the question was, how long? Look at that! I like it. Do you like it? Look at how it changes if you go like that. All right, let's get ready for our second one. But first, so for those of you who might not have the pattern, but again, you can, if you want to make a Simply Colorful quilt and get it to me by June 30th, and there are many free patterns right on the Simply Colorful website, make it, send me the top, send me the back. I'll quilt it for you. I'll provide the stuffing. You just have to pay for shipping. And it will be a great way for us both to practice. Anyway, for those of you who might not have access to all the patterns, this sashing you want to put on is 9.5 by 3.5 inches. And then you put one 12.5 by 3.5. That's what I'm doing now. All right. Okay. There's that. Put this on. Sounds a little noisy, doesn't it? She hasn't been in for service in a long time. She's already, her oil light came on once. That's why I put her away for a while. And all right. Another one down. Go. That's good. I'm liking it. Okay, before we go on to our last one, let's make sure. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you, actually. I wanted to show you a few examples of quilts that I have done so far. And so here's the one you saw this morning. This is Jean's Oh Baby Baby. Look at the back Minky. Isn't that pretty? So that one, she did a beautiful job. That one. So that's one. Then this one, I had hanging up a few weeks ago and it didn't have a border. And we were talking about spools. Well, I used a spool pantograph and I'm halfway done with the binding. I don't know if you can see this, but I added a big border. And I did the back in the same fabric. And I'm really liking this. I can't believe I like a brown quilt so much. But I am liking that one. And what I wanted to say was, also thanks to my sister, there are flat rate shipping boxes at the U.S. Postal Service. So this applies to everyone in the United States. They have flat rates that you may already be aware of, but I would think you might be able to fit your top and your backing in the medium size flat box. There's also a large box, which really isn't that large. And this is all on USPS.com. And the cost for this one, this is 12 by 12 by 5.5, is $18.85. So if you can put your everything in that would be a flat fee. I'm sure you can even send it less via UPS ground. And we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I wanted you to know the U.S. Postal Service, for the medium size, this is only $13.60. So 2 options. This is medium size, so $13.60. Again, go to www.usps.com. You can get the boxes are free. They'll even ship them to you. So thank you, KB, for letting me know about that. Okay, so this one, oh, I love this fabric. Isn't that pretty? Just really bright. And then get started here. There. Oh, the hearts are going different ways. Let's see if we can make this. Oh, it'll work itself out. Ah! Famous last quote. Oh, Mom, I'm here to report that I put the white netting over the kale. So I have protection against the cabbage moths. Okay. Here and here. I'll do 2 more of these and then I'll see who's out there. Oh, but I did that wrong. Remember how we always in paper piecing, it's really important to follow the numbers, the sequence. I think I went right to A2 and A3. From this one, let's do this right. Start. Okay. I inevitably on paper piecing we'll get it turned around, so I'll have the wrong side showing out. Okay, let's see who's out there. Cinco de Mayo. It's checking for mail. Okay. Ooh, ding. Hi, Maureen in PA. How are you? Do you have the countdown clock from being a grandmother? Oh, and she says, I'm not sewing tonight. I'm packing for St. Martin. Oh, you lucky, lucky woman. Have a blast. Are you going to the Dutch side or the French side? Oh, and Lee. Oh, I'm glad you wrote in. Lee says, this is the picture I showed you earlier was Lee's last week clue. She says, hi, Lynn and FiberCasters. Sewing along with you tonight. Here's my color for clue 11. Navy blue. Happy Friday. Oh, that's great. Oh, it's laid out. Okay. Look at how sharp and striking that is, even from a distance. Very cool. I like that. Carol, hey, you're up. Carol is out over in Yorkshire. She says, hi, Lynn and FiberCasters. Hope you've all had a good week. She says, I'm a bit behind tonight. I have only got 2 of the blocks finished. I'm still working on the 3rd. That's okay, but I have not started now. That's what she says. Exactly. Isn't it such a competing thing? I look out here and I went out, so we don't get as much done. I bet if they did a study, I bet they would show that quilting productivity goes down in April and May, June probably. She says, I'm a bit behind tonight. I've only got 2 of the blocks. Okay, but no, fewer weeds. She says, I've layered the baby quilt I've been working on and have started to quilt it. Seeing you talking about your new machine makes me quite envious. Oh, that's not my intention. Unless you want to get one, I can tell you a good one. She says, I would love to send you a quilt to practice on, but posting over to you may not be that practical. Yours, Carol, in Yorkshire, England. I understand. Oh, look at that. Love how crisp and clean that looks. It's great. I know, isn't it? It's too bad. That's the one drawback of us being connected around the world. It's hard to get things to each other. We'll just have to find you a long armor down there. Hey, and Shailene, speaking of long armors, I love the quilt you did. Where is it? I put it over here. She says, it's so good to be back live with you after close to 2 months of back issues and not being able to sit and sew. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm back to working on my paper-pieced princess quilt tonight. Love sewing along with you, Shailene. Oh, I love this. What is that? Is that, whoa, KB, you're not going to believe this. This is paper piecing. That's one princess's head, and that's all paper pieced. This is Shailene. Here's another one, KB. Wow. Shailene, did you design these? These are wonderful. How about that? Wow. Thank you for sending them. And thank you for doing Drew's quilt. Once I get the binding on, I'll show it for everyone. In fact, I might, not next week because we'll be in Newburyport, but maybe the week after, I'll hang it up one more time before we give it to them. It's the one with West Virginia material on the back. Oh, I'm so glad you're out there, and I'm so glad you're feeling better. Back issues are so tough. So tough. Okay. See, this one I goofed, but I could still, let me put A1 right on there. It'll be fine. Okay. Did you look up pictures for Wallace Nutting? Did you see all the ones of the ones with the braided rugs and the fire, the colonial furniture? I think it's colonial furniture. Pretty sure. Well, I don't know. Late 1800s to mid 1900s. Okay. I'm going to be psyched to get 2 of these done in 60 minutes. What do we say? It's amazing. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I think I saw, let's see, or a message. Okay. There's that. Hey, all right. Mom is out there. She said, glad to hear you have the kale covered. And she says we're eating asparagus. Yay. Yum. I love asparagus. Already, huh? Okay. There we go. The last one of these. We're lucky we haven't run out of thread. I'm glad about that. Anyone out there going to Quilt Market or any of those things? I saw what I thought was a good post by, or a couple of thought-provoking posts. No, I can't remember it. Never mind. A mind is a terrible thing when it goes. You miss it. one more here. You know what else I might do on these travels? Well, I'll either do my hexies, or maybe I can do some hand Dear Janes. I do have still some hand to do. But I've been wanting to do embroidery. Don't ask me why. Just another ridiculous new obsession. I haven't started anything, but I have that book that my sister was supposed to take to my mother and get it out of my house. But it's a whole book of embroidery patterns. Remember the old-fashioned day of the week dish towels for the kitchen? I'd love to a pair. 7 of those I'd like to make. But I'd have to update it, because certainly washing laundry or sweeping or doing any of those domestic chores. Maybe I could do a funny parody, you know. So on Monday I call the cleaners. What do I do? On Tuesday, maybe I straighten the, I don't know. You know where I'm going with this. Monday, maybe I go get the squeegee out for the window. Maybe I call the window cleaners, get the squeegee out. I don't know. We're so pampered and spoiled. But I'm trying to get out there and bend and move for my gardening. You have to, right? And I'll use them. I'll clean my own windows. There's one. Two, we're almost there. I bet we're coming up on the hour. So while we get ready to sign off, I just want to recap. We saw the print that Wallace Nutting did of the quilting party, done in 1916, and I love it. We're going to hang it up. So thank you, Kim, for that. We also did a couple of these clue 11s. That means we have one more week of clues, and then we put, next week will be the reveal. I know spoiler alert, there won't be much. It's going to come together as you suspect it is. And let's see, what else did we talk about? Oh, and we talked about quilting. So send me your Simply Colorful quilting tops. Give me something to practice on. I'd love to do it. I'd love to just do it. And let's see. So email me. I guess the best way is to email me for my address. I'm sure it's available out there. I know I'm in Hopkinton, Mass. Massachusetts. So there's that. And this. And this. Oh, that is a pretty one. Oops. See the hearts? And they did kind of work out. They're all up and down there. They're all going the same. They're going like that. At least they're not going kitty corner. Anyway, let's see. Let me make sure I said hi to everyone. Yeah, we are at time. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. And I want to thank you all for joining me. This is not a very good finish off, but I want, okay, so we're good. Do you believe it? Another FiberCast, another 60 minutes of doing a lot together. So thank you for joining me. Love being with you, love seeing you. Keep on being creative this week. Enjoy the flowers, enjoy the fall down under. And we'll see you next week from Newburyport, 7 p.m. Bye, everyone. I'm reaching for the mouse. Bye.